has been quite a while since my last video, and there's been a lot that has happened over the last 5 months or so since my last video. Biddy Penny, she's going to be helping me. She's been doing videos on the unboxing of the subscription boxes and doing some amazing projects, and I am going to be collaborating with her. I brought her on as a designer, as well as Gail Agostinelli. She helps me a lot too, and so I really want to give a lot of credit to the both of them. Alright, so there is the collection, a little preview of it, and oh, so this, again, I found this and I thought we could do something similar to this. So what my mom did, and again, I think she made this like 10 years ago, is she used this binding system. Let's see, right here. And instead of 2 holes like she did here, I added in this 3rd hole because I thought it would give extra support. I don't know if we're really going to need it. I could probably just do like the 2 holes that she did, and it's just that accordion type binding there, and then you score and you have these pages. And I thought we could do something similar to this, but a smaller version and not as wide. So that is my thinking, and then there's these beautiful pockets and things, and I thought that that is where we could implement some of those specimen cards and envelopes that you see from right, where was it? Like these ones here. So I thought we could use these envelopes and put our specimen cards inside of those. So we're going to work on that. That's what I thought we would work on. And I'm so happy to be back doing another video. It's great to be back. The support it's just blown my mind. It keeps me going. It keeps me going. Alright. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to pull out some of these designs and we're just going to kind of wing it here. I printed these on cardstock. It's the 110-pound cardstock. So I'm just going to cut these out and cut out the squares here from this one, and then there's these, and then there's one that has, let's see, there's that one. And then I have my transparency sheet, so I'll be cutting those out as well, because that is what I'm going to use for the inside of it. And you don't have to do it on the transparency like me. You could just print them on regular cardstock like this and cut them out from that. But I want to get all of these. Here we go. So I'll be cutting out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll have 6, and then on my transparency sheet there was 6 there as well. Okay, so when I cut this, I don't know what I was thinking. I was supposed to leave them together so that, you know, you could fold it. But after I cut it like this, I was thinking what I could do is create a tab. And so I have these folders that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. That made me think I would back it against this folder, and then I would have this tab here. Even though I did include some tabs in the kit that you could use, I think I'm going to go with this instead. So what I'm going to do is just trace around this and then cut it. I always like to think out of the box and take my time in creating these things. I don't like feeling rushed, because I feel like when I'm rushed into having to do something, the creativity kind of dies. And then I'm just going to try to shape it with my scissors and see what we get. I think I can do this. I'm just going to use this end, like so, and use it to trace around. And we're going to cut. So they match with the corners I used there. So then we're going to take this, and I actually kind of like having it against the yellow folder because it gives this yellow, kind of more of an antiqued look to the image as opposed to just having it against white. But again, you might like it with the white background. I actually like it with this more yellow background. I think I will stick that like so. And then I did have my, from the transparency, this card, which I think I'll stick there. And then you can create maybe even just this little pocket with your file folder, cut a little square the same size. All right, there, perfect. So I'm going to take that from my folder, and I think I'm going to place that right on the front like so. And I have this little butterfly too. This cute little butterfly, which I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. I might use it, I might not. But what I'm looking for is that little, here we go, tape measure. And so I'm going to sew that on. I think I'm just going to take and put this in between, like so, and stitch that on. Just put some side, and on the bottom I'm just going to do a little bit of glue because I don't want the glue to spread over, you know, the part of the image that you see. I don't want you to see the glue, so I'm really trying to keep just small amounts of glue on the edge of my transparency. And again, if you don't have a transparency sheet, you could do it, I mean, you could even try it on vellum. If you have some vellum, you could print it on vellum and see how that looks. I have this part that I have to put together, and I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sew this, and then I will be back. Okay, so I stitched this just on this one side, and this is still open. Well, what I meant to do is I was going to put this in between the two pieces here, you know, and then stitch it down this side. And I just got a little carried away, which started stitching, and then I realized, oops, I was supposed to put that in between. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue it onto the edge there because I really do like this little added accent to our card here, this piece here. But on the back it's going to be white, and I don't really want it to be white. So in your subscription box you had these stamps that came in one of your kits. Okay, stamp that on. That looks pretty good. And then I think I'm going to take my Tim Holtz stencil, give it more of a vintage look. And then of course we'll do the edges. Alright, and then I have my little butterfly that I think I'm going to place up there. But I kind of like that, just added look there. And I think that's good. So there's one.
Trees aren't green, the ocean is grey, sky is a vague blue, come my way. My room is a mess, it could use a hand. My favorite TV shows to capture in. I know I must get it right, must get back in the fight. This can't be a surprise, I think I let it slide. I'm sleepwalking it go. The feeling of thirst, desire to be a rock in my heels. I'm numb as a poison, flows in my veins. Guess I got used to avoiding the pain. I know I must get it right, must get back in the fight. This can't be a surprise. I think I let it slide. I'm sleepwalking through all of my problems. I know I can't make it through. Every night it's the same. I keep running fast, left and right, wondering where my head's gone now. I'm sleepwalking through all of my problems. I know all of my problems. I know. Maybe I need a break. Maybe that's why I fade into this bitter taste. I think I'll let it be. Oh no, anxiety creeps up on me. Is this how it's supposed to feel? Tell me when it's over. I got someplace that I gotta be. It won't leave. My friends say, get out of your comfort zone. It's a blessing in disguise. Get out of what you call home. Your name is written in the sky. It might feel just like you're on your own, but baby, it's another lie. Remember, you were made. I try to work, but it doesn't work. I try to say something, but there's a word. I try to justify my actions, less reactions, heartbeat raising. Oh, it doesn't work.
So we got 2 done, and then I thought that we would work on the envelopes that these go into, these other envelopes. And so of course I want to use this one, and then I want to use this one, but I want to do this hybrid of vellum and using the paper envelopes. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to work with this pocket envelope that I created and just decorate. I always think it looks neat when you can take and collage it, and so that's what I think I'm going to do here. So I'm going to cut this part. All right, I'm going to cut right below this line here. So I think I will take and put that there. I might take and use some of that on there. All right, so there's that. And then what else? What else do I want to add to this? Okay, do that, and then, you know, flowers. Flowers always seem to help. Maybe add in a flower. Got a butterfly here. Kind of liking this. I think I'm going to go ahead and just distress it up a little bit and just stamp. I'm just going to stick with this stamp and just add a few things here and there. I just want to introduce some stamp, you know, some of those stamped elements there. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. Now, when I add in this, oh, and then I wanted to distress it up a little bit. And then we got this. And then I was going to do this up here. See, it just needed a little bit of something to stress it up a little bit. Okay, so something similar came in your, I think it was August, your August kit. And I threw in some extra stuff too, but let's see. You had washi tape attached to your bag, and it does pull off the paper bag quite easily. And so, let's see, I might use this one here with the butterflies on it. Now this film strip one I noticed didn't pull off the bag as easy, so I tried to attach it to this washi, which pulls off quite easily. Alright. Film strip would even look kind of cool, I think, on the envelope. Might be kind of cool. I think I want to use some of this. And I think I'm just going to tear it. So there's that. I have the vellum. I think I'm going to stick with the vellum. Still have butterfly or something that I need here. Okay, so in your little folded sack that you received, you have these gold doilies. I think these will work around this section there. So I'm going to cut it, I think, right up around here. Yeah, because I don't want to cover up where it says curiosities, so I'm going to cut out this center section here, and it's so fragile. Like, you have to be pretty careful with handling it, but I think once we get it glued down, it will work. I'm going to cut off some of more areas where, you know, it's covering that. I just kind of keep placing it down and looking and seeing where it's needing to be cut down a little further. There. I like that. So I found a piece of actually heavyweight cardstock, but you could back it against, I think, just even the index weight would be fine. So I'm going to glue this down onto there first, and then I'm going to recut it. It just needed some of that extra strength. I'll let that dry. I'm going to cut this out. Okay. And then we'll take and we will glue that like so. And I think I might even just, you know, take and try to distress any white edges that it might be showing through. I'm only gluing on this one layer here, and so you can see where it's just the window film there. And this should strengthen all of that. Just let that dry. So for the back of the envelope, in your subscription kit, inside of your folded paper bag there, you should have found this tissue paper. I had a lot of people ask, you know, if this was Tim Holtz, and it's actually by Finnebear. And that's through Prima. She designs for Prima. And so she's the one who designed this tissue paper. It's very lovely. Absolutely love it. And I think what I'm going to do is, because this is already collaged and it's got the butterflies, I thought that this would work perfectly for the back of our envelope. So we want to decorate this back side, because I do plan on having this flip in the journal when we get to that point of our project. So what I want to do is just kind of figure out where I need to cut it. And you can see through, because it is a tissue paper, you can see through where to, you know, cut your tissue. And I'm just going to take my scissors and just go along and start cutting. Now I think I'm going to go past where the, like up to where the flap is. But I'm thinking, you know, between being able to distress over it, I'll be able to get that to look nice and finished. So I'm just going to take my glue and just a light layer of glue here, but the edges is what I really want to focus on. And we will adhere the tissue down. I'm going to take my finger and just kind of spread it. So I just want that thin layer, especially when I'm working with vellum or tissue. I don't want to get anything too wet because it crinkles the tissue, and I don't want it to really crinkle on me that much. So just a really light layer of glue is all you're going to want to do. And then I'm going to do this side. And I'm just going to use my finger to kind of spread that around. Some nice, even, thin coat of glue. There. Yeah, see, I don't know if it's gonna kind of cut through it. I'm just gonna take my scissors and cut along. Alright. Then I have a few other sections I have to kind of trim. I might have to take and back this with some index weight cardstock. It's pretty flimsy. I don't know if that's going to hold up too well if I want to create this little flap pocket. You know, it's just really kind of flimsy, but I do at the same time, I love kind of the delicate texture to it, you know, that an envelope has. Kind of want to keep that. I don't know. So I'm just going to kind of see how this goes. I might have to do that though. I think I'm going to go back with that washi. And I think I'll put that right there. Then I'll cut it down. Alright, I have one that says daydreaming. Kind of like that. You can put that maybe up here. I have my butterfly. I still want to add in. Kind of like that. I love doing envelopes. I think collaging envelopes is so much fun. I love to, you know, they're perfectly good envelopes, especially the ones that come inside, you know, to pay a bill or something. And you pay it online, so you have this perfectly good envelope and you don't want to waste it. So why not just create beautiful art with it? When you get it inside of a journal, you know, it looks even better. Yeah, I really love the way that this is coming along. And then there's the back side. Again, this would be glued down so you wouldn't see it. And then I might, you know, because that's going to be a flap there inside of our journal, I might take and apply some trim or something here when we get to that point. I wouldn't even mind taking some more of this and putting it on the back side. So I think I'll go ahead and do that just to kind of finish this edge too. There gives you an idea of one of the pocket envelopes, and I like how you can just take and slide it out. So there's that one. Now let's use some of these where you have the actual envelope. So like this one, and again I'm using Vellum, or I printed these on Vellum. So doing a really light layer is pretty important. I think just spreading it with your finger works really good to make sure you just get a nice thin coat of glue. And then you're not crinkling, I've got to go down a little further, you're not crinkling the vellum or the envelope that much, so you don't want to get too wet. And then you just lightly press it down. Alright, let me think here. I think I might have to cut this off. This flap. Right where I folded it. Okay. Then think right now if I have my specimen card, which is right here, I'm going to make sure this can go inside. I'm just going to cut this edge too. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Now, maybe I could do something like that. And that could go inside of that. Just kind of maybe tuck that. I think I'm going to cut this flap off of the vellum. Maybe like that. I need to do something for this other half here to create my pocket. So what do I want to use? What I'm going to do is inside your paper bag, again, you found these papers. And I think this is what I'm going to do, is I love how, see we did the back, and this is just how things kind of come together in your creative process. So without even planning it, I have this curiosities that's showing through the window here. And then I think I'm going to take this, and I'm going to glue this over and then trim it. And I will want to put something here, so, and here. So I could do washi tape again, which would be pretty easy to do. I need to cut that. Alright, and then I can distress that edge. Then we have this. I think what I'm going to do also is I want that tab to stick out, so I'm going to cut, since I already have a place where I want it. Alright, I gotta cut that straight. Okay. So, creating this pocket, that's going to go inside. Now it sticks out the way I would like, and that shows on the back. Alright, now I got to put this down, and I think I'm going to just go ahead and glue that down to this section here, and then I can trim it. I'm just going to trim this up here. Yeah, I totally put it on crooked. There we go. Kind of try to get all straightened out a little better. I want this on the back. I think I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on the back. Probably good right there, so go ahead and glue this down. Okay. The back, you know, talks about handle negatives with care, so I thought it'd be kind of neat to just place some of this film strip, and I have to straighten out my edge here, and so just to give it more of a finished look, I think I might just kind of attach this down like so, and so I will have to use a little glue to hold that down in place. And then I might take and introduce a little bit of this on the front. Maybe like right up here or something. Yeah, I think I like that. And then I'm just going to cut it right about there, that line is. Okay, so I think I'm just going to stamp again. Same stamp, and just, yeah, kind of go along that edge there. Just add something on the back there as well. Use the ink. I have the inside of this that I'm going to have to do as well, because when you open the folder, you know, this little thing here, or I might just create a little pocket, little slide pocket for it, glued this down, and then this will just slide through like so. I could do that. So I do have my little piece of tissue paper here. Remember how I said using every little scrap, and I think I'm going to go ahead and use this. But sometimes when you piece these things together, again, I think just layering things just creates something beautiful. I know I want to back this envelope. I was thinking I could put this inside, so I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to switch back to this envelope, and I'm just going to cut it to size here, 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch. Perfect. So if I have my specimen card, it's going to slide in like so. I could put something kind of fun, like another sentiment or something up at the top. And I do have in my transparencies this In My Dream World, which I like that. I am going to create some little tabs here on each side, so I'm just going to use this for my file folder, and we'll do this side, and then I need to go over and do this side. So I'll at least have these, you know, this tabbed top, or looking like a tabbed top. There. And then that will go inside, and I want to distress it. And then I'll have my sentiment up here, which fits perfectly. And then this will slide in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. And again, this is just to make it so my envelope's not quite so flimsy and can hold this specimen card, you know, to where it's going to just, because we are creating this kind of pocket here, where it will slide down in there a little easier. And I do want to make sure that my tab is sticking up for that sentiment. Have some of my tissue paper put it down here. Now I just want to hole punch through here. And again, you know, maybe you want to add trims or things like that to yours, which that is, you know, whatever your preference. I didn't, again, I just didn't want it to be too frilly. I really wanted it to kind of look like this old, just book-like sort of journal is what I'm going for. That's how I want it to look when it's completed. And I don't mind some unfinished edges or things like that. Alright, now this will slide in like so. And I think it looks great. Now I do have this edge here. So I will have to cover that up. Okay, so I'm going to use some washi tape. This came in one of the previous kits. I'm just going to use this washi tape. And I liked the teal color. I have the inside of my little folder here, and I want to kind of dress up the inside here. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to use this. I'm just going to trace along, cut this down. Look pretty good. Alright, and I'm going to use my tape gun this time. Kind of like that layered look there. I'm telling you, the stencil does the trick every time. Alright, let's see, I just need there. Okay, now I don't want to cover up my window, so what I'm going to do is pull it down just a little, and I know I'm going to have to cut from here to here, and it is, I'm gonna have to measure. Let's see. It is about 3/4 of an inch. Here. Okay, so just to make this show up a little bit more, and because I like layers, I think I'm just going to take this scrap piece I have and I'm going to tear each side, and then of course distress. And I might create this little pocket. Just so my vellum doesn't crinkle too much. I'm going to thin that out. And I don't want to glue the whole thing down. And then I'm just going to do the sides here. And maybe just a little on the bottom. So I'm just going to take some of these stickers for the fun of it. And we could just go like that. And then we have our specimen card inside. And then we were going to, I was going to hold it, create a belly band for inside of my journal page. And that is how I was going to hold it within the journal. Was like that. So there's our little folder, our little specimen card, and I will probably set these back, you know, with on some heavy books just to flatten them out really nicely. But I like the way that they turned out, just simple, easy. I like how the back shows the curiosity, and wasn't even planning on that. So there's that one, and then we have this one which just slides in and out. And then we were going to create a little flap here. And again, you could put a sentiment up here. Again, I could put a sentiment up here and add some more decorative elements here. I have this one. I already cut it out from the vellum. And this was one of the designs. Again, I just printed it on vellum. And then what I did is I just simply folded it after I cut it out. Right at the line there. And then I took some of my paper bag and I just used the one that came in your subscription, the one that I had folded. I just cut out a section of that. You can see where I cut it out. And I placed that on the back. And the reason I did that is because I wanted it so, you know, because it's transparent, I wanted it so her face was going against a solid background. Otherwise, if I didn't put this there, you could see the back side of the flower in the script going across her face, and I didn't really like that. So you could create a cute little pocket or envelope, whichever. You could create some flaps down here if you wanted to, and create an envelope. But that was what I did. So then I thought, with my scrap piece of my file folder, I just measured, you know, about the width of the envelope, and then I cut it, so you can see where I cut it, and then I created my tabs on the top. Now, to create the tabs at the top after I cut this out, all I did was take the part of the file folder that has this tabbed section right here. And I just lined it up, and I just traced, and then flipped it over and figured out about where I wanted my other tab to be, and I traced there, and then I cut it out to have my tab, and of course, you know, this would be a straight line going across. And I did that to create this little folder, or this little tabbed folder. And then I placed one of the sentiments for my transparency. I cut that out and I glued it onto the top here. So now I can have it to where it slides in and make a little pocket, and then, you know, you could add journaling onto the back or a picture or whatever, but then you still have this nice clear background to where you can see, you know, her face and everything without things going through it. I have my envelope that I printed on vellum, and I'm going to cut that out. And I'm going to leave this edge here of my vellum. And all I'm going to do is, I'm going to get my scoreboard, and we are going to score right along that edge. Alright, and then we'll fold it. Now for the back side, I'm going to use my creased side of my vellum here. And we are just going to trace around this envelope. But I want to leave about, you know, I would say ½ an inch on each side. This is where I'm just going to take and score, just kind of create this line here, and I already have this side, so I just have to do this side, and then I want to go over. I just need to create a little pocket is all I'm doing. So I'm going to go over like this bar, and then right where that line is. So I just need to cut that. Okay. You can mark it, you don't have to score it. You know, you can mark it with your pencil. I just sometimes don't want the pencil marks, and that's why I scored it. Now, here is where you need to score each side. And, you know, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfectly even on each side, but, you know, kind of eyeball it and make sure it's pretty close. And then we're going to glue this over, like so. So I have my edge that I folded down here, which will sit up in there. And then we will have our envelope. It's that easy. Now, I do want this little slit here, so what I'm going to do is take my circle punch and pray that it goes through this vellum. Good, good. And then I at least have a little notch for my envelope. And mine is creased because of where it jammed, but I'm just gonna use some washi tape or something to fix that. I didn't want to waste a piece of vellum. But just to show you how to finish these and create the vellum envelopes, I thought I would just show you how I do this really quick like. So all I'm going to do is place some glue and just try to keep it light right here. And then I want it right on this edge here and here. Alright, and now you have your vellum envelope. That's how you create those envelopes after you print them out, because I didn't do a back. I just thought it's so easy to create the back. To clean up this back section here, I think what I'm going to do is use some of this doily. I'm going to try to find a way where it looks good on both sides. So if I go, let's see, kind of go like this. That's what shows through on that side, which looks kind of pretty. Stick it like so. And definitely going to want this sheet going down. I always keep my backings to my shipping labels. They work great for palette paper. They work good, you know, if you don't want your glue sticking to certain things. And so I will just let that dry. Okay, so while that is drying, I'll show you one other specimen card that I'm doing here, and all I did is cut out one side and I backed it against one of the other sides that was printed on cardstock. And so what I thought I would show all of you, so if you don't have transparencies or vellum and you still want to give it kind of a cool look, well, I'm sure a lot of you have this type of packaging around. It can, you know, it's placed over lots of things. And you can just take and cut out your image that you want to do and place it inside the bag. It doesn't have to be perfectly sized because you're going to be placing it inside of your little card here to create your specimen card. So that is one other thing that you can do. I'm just going to take and fold this to where it's sticky and leave it, you know, just leave it like so. And I need to glue this as well. You know, you have your vellum envelope here, and then you can stick our little specimen card inside. Okay, I just want to show you how this slides in perfectly. And then you have your little specimen card inside of your vellum envelope. Okay, I think we're almost done here. So I think on this one, I'm just going to add maybe like one of these, just kind of dress it up over the gold a little bit. And then I think it needs a sentiment up here. Really like this, build your wings. And then I do want to glue this down as well. And then I'll trim that down. And I think that one will be good. Okay, and then just dress those edges. So we have her, and this is just going to slide down into there, like so. And then we'll have our flap, which is going to go in our journal, and so when we put it in our journal, it will flap open and closed like that. I'm going to get ready to finish up. I hope I've given you lots of ideas on how you can take the digitals and create the specimen cards and using the envelopes and making some folders. So I hope that gives you an idea of how you can use some of those digitals. One other thing that you can do is I have my regular print that I did on cardstock, and then I have one that I did in vellum, and then I cut it out, and I thought that the vellum would look really pretty over the printed one here. And you can double side these, so you have a print on the inside, but I figure when you put your specimen or whatever image you're going to use inside, you're not going to really see the background, so I didn't worry about it. Okay, and I'm going to let that dry on there, and I might put it in between a couple heavy books just to make sure that it dries flat and everything. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to get the image ready that I'm going to put inside the specimen card. I think I will do this bird this time. And then I'm going to use just one of these cellophane bags. I use these a lot in the kit, so you should be able to find one that came in your kit. And I'm just going to slide this down in there. And then I'll probably just fold that over. And then we're going to stick our little birdie inside here. Down. Place this over like so. I could do this, but or even something like this maybe. I could even do something like that, which might be kind of cute. So I might go get my little brads, and I think I'll do that and make 2 little holes and then stick that in to create a little pocket there. What I will do is I cut out one of these that I printed on cardstock, and then I have one of these wider window envelopes here that I just pulled from my junk mail, and I am going to, I cut down this side, and so I'm going to use this part right here for the back side. Let's see, how do I want to do this? For the back side of this, what I'm going to do is as you saw, I cut this back side off of here, so I have the front of my envelope, and I measured like to this edge, just folded that, and so I'm going to apply some glue just right here, and then we're going to attach this. I need to create some flaps here, so when I cut this I should have done like on the other one where I have this flap down here, that I can use when gluing it, but I don't have anything on the side. So I'm just going to take and add some flaps here so I can fold my envelope up. And I should have, see when I cut this, I should have left a little bit there to fold in. So you're gonna see a lot of mistakes in this video. I could have just torn this off, started from scratch, which is probably the smarter thing to do. but I'm gonna make this work. So I'm just gonna glue this on, and then I'm gonna score it. You know, making these envelopes is pretty forgivable. If you do make a mistake, there's pretty easy ways to fix it. And as you can see, I'm not being really perfect here with how I'm cutting everything. I just need to create these little flaps, and they're not going to be seen, so they don't have to look perfect or pretty or anything like that. Now I'm going to let that dry. I'll be able to score here and fold it in, because I will be decorating this envelope. While that is drying, I do have my card here. I did cut out this little vellum flower, and I think I'm going to take and just apply that really loosely to the top there. And then I'm just thinking what would be really cute too is if you just had one of those tiny books, and you can usually find them at thrift stores or old used bookstores, and if you could find a little cover, you could just easily create this cute little journal, just throw in some little pages here and there, put a little cover over this, and look, you'd have the cutest little envelope specimen card booklet. So that's another idea of what you can do. Now I'm going to take and use these in a bigger journal. I want to create something a little bigger, but you could, just as an idea, create a tiny little journal just from these little folders and specimen cards and envelopes that we've made in this video. And as you can see, making all of these is very easy to do. Okay, this should be dry. So I need an envelope for my specimen card here, and I think I want it to show, so when you put it in, you can see it peek through this side of the envelope. One thing that has really inspired me with this collection is I loved Spiderwick Chronicles. I've always loved that book. In fact, I have one right here. And this is one of the books that I keep around because it just inspires me. I have always loved the artistry and just kind of the field illustrations and so forth. So, you know, it's one of the things that, one of my inspirations in creating a lot of the fantasy, surrealism sort of artwork. I'm going to go now and score this. I just needed these flaps. I had to have these flaps in order to, you know, be able to make this back pocket work. This, fold this. Now, yes, and then I will have to cut off all of this. So I think that is going to work perfectly. Yep. Yep. That reminds me, I don't know if you ever saw that viral video. I think my husband sent it to me a while ago, and it's this little baby toddler, and it just makes that sound where I can't remember if the child was asked a question or what, but it was just the way the response was just yep. And every time I say that, now I think of that video with that baby. It was adorable. It was so cute. So there we have that. So I'm just going to go a lot lighter this time with the glue. There's not a lot to really collage on this envelope because of the window. So, but using the tissue paper is kind of nice. It's easy to work around this window. So let's go with the aquamarine, and using the same stamp that I've been using. I'm going to put a few numbers here and there. And yep, I like that color. Now I'm going to go a little darker with this bluebird. Just add a little right there. Dream without fear, kind of like that, against that dark background. So I'm going to grab my Distress Oxides, and then I'm just going to distress around all the edges. Okay, so I have my tag attached here. I have been putting these between heavyweight books just to flatten everything out, make sure it's all nice and flat. I don't mind the crinkly pages because I do like that aged look, but I do like them to lay flat, and so that is one thing that I did to these. I will probably tonight let them, you know, sit in between these heavy books just to really make sure, you know, they have a good chance to flatten out. But that has helped a lot in just the few minutes that I've had them laying in between these heavy books to flatten it out. So just one other little thing I thought I'd mention that I do to keep everything nice and flat but still have that aged, you know, look to everything. So what I'm going to do is on the back here, just to kind of make it look a little nicer, I cut out this little ephemera piece, and I have to tell you all something. For my friends out there, some close ones of mine, I've been seeing the number 17 or 107, 17, that combination, and of course, you know, I was born 7-1. So, I don't know, but like this, I did not put this in. It just said number 107. I noticed that. And then I pulled another piece of ephemera, and it had the number 17 in it as well. I had to show my husband because it was just so weird. And I've even shown my mom because I was like, okay, is this seriously, like, it gets thrown in my face, and I don't know, it's kind of weird. Have any of you been seeing the number 17 a lot? Just curious. Yeah, so anyway, I had to say that because I saw that 107 there. Let's see, so I'm just going to, I think I'm going to use my tape gun. Okay, and then for the back, you know, you could add in a flower, decorate it up however which way you want to. So I'll add this, and then maybe like this flower, something like that, maybe. Okay, so I think I'm just about done here. I think one other thing that I might do really quick is I do have this sentiment here. I don't know. I want to add something more on here, and I do like the way this looks. So I'm just going to attach that really quick. And then I thought I'd put this flower like so. And then inside of this envelope, I did put a little washi right here, which I will have to glue this down. And I'm going to add some of this on the inside. Might look kind of neat. But I find just a very thin layer of the glue works pretty good. I'll just trim it. So there we have that now on our flap. probably have it overhang just a little bit. I could even just, I mean, it might just be something just as simple as, you know, adding this over just to create more of a finished edge. And I think I'm just going to use some glue to glue that down because I really don't want to try to take the backing off this tiny little piece here. I think it's just going to be too hard to do. So that is good. Put it on the back side here, or we could have it right here, which that might be kind of neat, just to kind of place it right there. I think this is so much fun, and like I said, I can't wait to take it all and put it into journal form. I think it's going to be so much fun. I would love to hear your comments, any feedback. Again, I know I've been really behind on a lot of things, and there's just been a lot that has happened in 5-6 months time. Family, health, a lot of things, and I'm really trying to get caught up with my mom doing the 2 kits. I do hope to have those out very soon. I'm probably going to add a little more to them, so that might be a little bit of a delay because I really like to make sure those kits are pretty amazing when you get them. But like I said, I have my friend coming tomorrow to help out, so that'll be nice. And I think we're going to sit and work on the other collection that I hope to have out. It's the digital collection, the French Chateau. And again, just a little sneak peek of that one. That one is going to have, you know, these designs, so we'll be working with these. And that's what's coming up. So this will be launching very soon. I pretty much have it done. I want to add in some envelopes and some things like that, and then I will be all caught up on August, September, and October. So the digitals, I'll have the project sheets going up, and then I have the 2 kits pretty much done. My mom did them, but I think I might add a few more things, and so I'll be getting those out very soon as well. And be on the lookout for Biddy Penny. She's going to be helping me. I'm so grateful because I really need the help. And then my mom, she's stepping in and helping out too. Things just got crazy in starting the subscription and the growth, and then just trying to go back and build kits and try to make everybody happy, and things just kind of trying to figure out how everything worked. Yeah, things got way behind, but we are catching up, finally catching up. Things are getting smoothed out with the subscription. So for those of you who have stuck through, you know, you warriors, you, thank you so much, and I'm going to make it worth your while, because wait till you see these kits that my mom put together. Yeah, I don't like to be behind. I don't like keeping people waiting, and I don't like people being upset. I really, those things, yeah, a lot of sleepless nights, anxiety, it's been very difficult, but, you know, I think, what is it? They say, like, when you go down, it's how you come back up, how you get through things, and I'm just going to make it better. If anything, I'm just going to try to make it better. If you like the video, if you love the projects, please just take a second, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to try to do videos more frequently. I cannot guarantee it though, and I think I've tried to stress that I will try to get those done. I'd hope to have a video done much sooner. I did run into some trouble with my computer and the software that I use for editing, which is Adobe, and there was an update and my computer's not taking it, so I had to take time. It's taken about 2-3 months to get all my files off of my computer, because we're talking large video files and graphic files, and just double checking and making sure everything is uploaded in a couple different places so I don't lose anything, and it's just taken a lot of time. I couldn't edit any videos, so that kind of held things up. And I do plan on being back very soon with another video. I hope you got some great ideas and some inspiration. And again, leave me some feedback, comments, let me know what you think of everything. And thank you again for watching.